Hey everybody, Chris here. So I'm hearing about this expectation that Dogecoin is just going to keep going up in price. Dogecoin to the moon, right? Well, not so fast. So we're going to explore that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell so you can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. Yeah, we're live, 9 o'clock p.m., just about every night. Looks like Friday night is going to be one night this week I'm not going to be on, but every other night, 9 o'clock p.m. East Coast time, United States, where I am here in Boston. That's where going to be Dogecoin Central, talking Doge, cryptos, looking at altcoins and other things on the live stream. We'll really open it up and talk about a lot of things going on. So please be sure to join in. Last night we were talking about Doge as Doge was pressing up at 9 cents. We were up over 9, and it was a good time because like all cryptos are up, right? And then when we left and I reset up the Dogecoin live stream, it was like, well, we'll see whether Doge can actually hold that 9 cent mark or not. And it hasn't. It's retraced a little bit. We'll look at that on the charts. But looking overall in terms of like Bitcoin over 25,000, it's retraced a bit. Others a little more, but overall, the economy is still in this position where not quite sure where it's going to go from here. The Fed is like almost manipulating it in a way because the numbers that come out just don't seem to jive with what we actually see going on in the world. We do have these layoffs still going off. This all just screams like recession to me. And maybe it's pre-recessionary and it's going to be a more long, drawn-out, slower recession that's not quite as deep as others we've seen before because of this manipulation, like oil reserves being opened up again to keep gas prices down. It's like the government is trying to do everything it can to kind of calm the waters, smooth things out. Things aren't so bad. Isn't this fine? Great. But a lot of us are really feeling it, and that just means there's just not a lot of extra money to be put into stocks, much less cryptos, right? Remember, cryptos, a risk-on asset. Only put in what you're willing to lose. All of that plays in. So hard to think that there's going to be a sustained bull market. But what we saw in January was this big rally, and even into the middle of February now, and Bitcoin hitting 25,000 is a big deal. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the charts and the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So we start here by looking at the Dogecoin chart here on the 30-minute, and here's this red line at 9 cents, and Dogecoin popped up above 9 cents and came up over 9.10 actually for a little bit before coming back down. As I'm recording this now, it's 8.73. So there's been a little bit of a regression here in the price, and maybe this is just setting up Doge to sort of maintain this higher low than we were looking at before. So instead of 826, we're now around 870 or so, and that could be going forward. Here's Bitcoin coming up above 25,000 briefly, a couple times, and now settling in again right here at 24.5 or so. So that's the latest on the charts, and we'll get into more detail on the charts during the live stream at 9 o'clock p.m. So tune in there. What I'm looking at, though, is like this overall economy and where we are. We go to the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin and we look back and we just go, we've been tracking this since the beginning of the year. There was this big run up through the first half of January, a second run up, a third run up, had a little retracement, and then we just had this over this past week, this big run up. And this is all responding to economic numbers that come out, right? And so I think the crypto market, somewhat the stocks as well, are having this much greater reaction to these economic numbers. And for me, it's kind of surprising because crypto is supposed to be, aside from all of that, right, the safe haven from what's going on in the economy. But you can see that the way crypto trades, it's still very tightly connected to what's going on. And to me, that just that's just buying, and you're going to get a lot more people buying crypto if there's a lot more extra money to be put in. And you still have institutions as well that, are being a little cautious, so you don't see a lot of this institutional buying as well. At least that's what I see going on. So we look at, this recession, well, some of us are feeling it, but what recession? Americans are still powering the economy despite high inflation. What is going on? Key economic indicators such as huge retail sales, historic job gains, painting the picture of a robust economy that shows few signs of slowing down. But a smaller than expected drop in January inflation has some economists worried the Federal Reserve is going to prolong its interest rate hikes, which could tip the economy into a recession that could eventually put millions of more people out of work. So that's one of the things that we're looking at. Economists still worry recession could be on the way. But here's how a soft landing may still be possible. So this talk about, it's going to be a recession, but it's going to be a soft one, right? They're just trying to prep us for, not panicking, right? Not getting all worried about this bad economy, even though we already feel it in the grocery store with the prices. Because high prices due to inflation may be contributing to the feeling that an economic downturn is already underway. Well, that's what I've been saying. Economists say the economy is still strong, though. The Federal Reserve looks to cool high inflation that could prompt a recession, but this soft landing, fewer job losses, is still possible. So the way it's working, it could work out that, there are layoffs happening in different sectors, but not overall at once. And we've got some key indicators that are lagging others, like real estate is one of those that takes a while to really see those numbers. And so there's this term, the rolling recession, right? That's what we've got, is this rolling recession, that a word that's being used because various sectors are taking their turns contracting. That's right. That's what we see is a hit in one area. Tech got hit in January, even though the prices were going up. You just get all of these companies are laying off. And what happens is the stock prices of these companies go up because, yes, we're trimming costs by letting all these people go. But you let all these people go and they're out of work. So I don't think a lot of them are really claiming unemployment benefits, though. So you don't really see those in the unemployment numbers because they turn around and they find other jobs, gig works, or whatever they're finding. They're not going to the unemployment line. So I guess there's still enough jobs around and enough work around to keep people busy. So that's holding off this idea of recession. So what's going on with Dogecoin? Well, Dogecoin spiked 160% the last time this happened. Will history repeat itself? Because there's still this idea of Dogecoin's just going to keep going up. So Alley Charts, according to data by Sentiment, is saying that Dogecoin has grown significantly positive in recent days, thanks to Elon Musk, right? Back in October, he finalized the deal to buy Twitter, and Dogecoin took off. Rumors of Dogecoin's deployment on the popular social network and speculation. So that's what all that led to it. And it looks like there's a feeling that something big is going to happen again. So what acted as a catalyst for the positive mood of the crowd this time is hard to say, given that there's no currently new news. But at the same time, the crypto market continues to show extremely strong bullish momentum, with Elon Musk mentioning Doge here and there in a joking way, and we talked about this yesterday, and with the pictures of his dog Floki and all of that. But faith and devotion, right? The reason the crowd is so positive about Dogecoin, current market conditions are still positive overall. Since the beginning of 2023, the crypto market has grown more than 38%. Some more than others. Bitcoin has had this big run. Doge hasn't run as much, mostly because if we look at Bitcoin on the 4-hour, Bitcoin was down here at 16,000, at the beginning of the year, up to 25,000. We go to Dogecoin though. Dogecoin wasn't as low as it had been because we had already seen Doge had this huge run up, at the end of October. And when it came down, it didn't come back down to the lows that it had before that big run. Doge was at 5.9 cents, 6 cents before that big run up. And when it came back down, it only came down to like 6.9, where Bitcoin at that same time, if we look at the Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin was up here, already up at 17 or 19, 20,000 before the dump off there when FTX had its bankruptcy and came all the way down to its yearly low of 15.6. But Dogecoin didn't go that low. So that big run that Bitcoin has had is a greater percentage, but that's just because Doge had this big run back here, back in early October or late October. Is when it had its run. So it hasn't seen as big of a percentage gain since the beginning of the year as Bitcoin has had, because it was much lower earlier. So there's still some good positive views that Doge is actually going to go on a bigger percentage run from here going forward than Bitcoin. And we see that when we look at the difference between Doge and Bitcoin, as that has come down below 0.0004. It's just about down to 3.5 now, as Bitcoin has really exerted its dominance. So it's down here, but we're going to see that go up again when Doge goes on a run, because that's just how that works. Now there's this article about this whale accumulating 450 million Dogecoin. I don't put any credence to this. It says it came from, in 2 different transfers from Crypto.com. And I think this is just another Crypto.com wallet. This isn't a whale. This isn't someone buying, $250 million of Doge on Crypto.com and putting it in a wallet. I think this is just another Crypto.com wallet. I've gone into wallets before, and this is just not that. So, and overall, Doge and Shiba Inu, the meme coins, they're leading the wave, right? They're leading the wave, because I think, again, this whole rally that we've seen this week was all started with Dogecoin, and then Bitcoin sort of took over, and a lot of good buying for Bitcoin, but it all started with Doge. So please be sure to tune in 9 p.m. Eastern Time for my live streams. Come join in the fun, join in the chat. We can talk not only about Doge, but Bitcoin, other altcoins, what's going on, and of course update on whatever the latest news is. So please be sure to check that out. Give the video a like. Let me know in the comments below what you think about your expectations about Doge and the crypto market in terms of the economy and what's going on there. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.